Hi there, I'm Colin Lamb, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a lyric analysis of the Grateful Dead's Dire Wolf, which is off their 1970 album, Working Man's Dead. This is one of my favorite tracks of all time. Particularly, I like the version that they recorded and performed in 1981 on the Tom Snyder show. I'll put a link to that down below there. The album version's pretty peppy. It kind of sounds like a Teach Your Children, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young kind of thing. That album was very well produced. Those are tightly written songs, and it is The Working Man's Dead. But part of the fun of the Grateful Dead is that you get to go off into the different eras and find live performances that you love from each of those. And that performance off of the Tom Snyder show is definitely one of my favorites. So in terms of lyric analysis, I'm going to be giving you my take on lyrics. Anyone could go and Google songmeaning.com or whatever it is and get the internet's aggregated interpretation of what the lyrics are. Of course, it's a Robert Hunter and Jerry Garcia song. But I'm going to tell you what this song means to me because I've loved this song for years. And over the years, the song has the meaning of the song, I think, has cemented into something that I take away from the track. So basically, I'm going to play you each verse and chorus, and I'm going to give you my take on these lyrics with only a tiny bit of help from the internet. So let's get right into it. It's kind of hard to play this thing and start and stop, but I'll do the best I can. In the timbers of Venerio, the wolves are running around. The winter was so hard, the cold froze 10 feet neath the ground. Don't murder me, I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Okay, so there we have the first verse, and immediately we get a chorus in like no time whatsoever, and that is truly the hallmark of a lot of great pop songs, is they don't make you wait to get to the chorus, and with a chorus that good, why would you make anyone wait? So, right off the bat, we've got this lovely little verse here. In the timbers of Fenario. Now, I did have to go to Google for this, and I will do something like this because I was not too sure if Fenario was a place or whatnot, but according to my limited research, Fenario refers to a mythical or real location central to traditional folk songs, such as the one we're kind of listening to here. Popularized by bands like the Grateful Dead and the Journeymen, and they quote a song, The Bonnie Lass of Fyvie. Anyways, we're not going to go too deeply into there. Let's get back to these lyrics. So this is a mythical place. The wolves are running around. The winter was so hard, the cold froze 10 feet neath the ground. So that's the first verse. So right off the bat, we're in a tough situation. Things are tough. We're in a hard winter, and the cold is frozen 10 feet neath the ground. And I always think about cold freezing that deep in the ground. You know, in old times, in tough times, people would dig into the earth to find roots when there was nothing else available to eat. And so this sets the stage as times are fairly tough. And then we get to the chorus immediately. Don't murder you, I beg of you, don't murder me, I beg of you, don't murder me, please. Don't murder me. I absolutely love that chorus. That's probably the thing that got me hooked on the song. So just in the context of the title, which we get before hearing the song, we can assume that there's a wolf out to murder somebody, the character of this song. And what we know about wolves is they will follow the struggling. They'll if they can, they'll just wait for something to die of natural causes and just pick it off rather than fighting it to preserve energy. That's the natural rules of nature. So that's kind of what that gets to me, and it might relate a little later as we go. Anyways, let's get into the second verse here. I sat down to my supper, 'twas a bottle of red whiskey. I said my prayers and went to bed, that's the last they saw of me. Don't murder me, I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Okay, so this kind of evokes the images of a guy sitting alone in a cabin, and he's having a drink of red whiskey for breakfast. And he says his prayers and goes to bed, and that's the last they saw of him. So did the wolf get him? We're not exactly sure. Did the cold get him? We're not exactly sure. But his plead again is, please don't murder me. And this particular bit here is kind of where I get into my personal connection of the song. But to me, this is kind of a song about fighting demons, maybe specifically addiction. We know that Jerry suffered in his time. Robert Hunter, the lyricist, I don't know how deeply he looked into Jerry's life and tried to reflect what he saw through the lyrics. I don't know if they had an open line of communication between the two of them. I don't know much, and maybe you can tell me in the comments. I don't know where Robert stood on Jerry's addiction. And I'm open to more information. But that, as this song kind of progresses, I sense this theme a lot more. And that's kind of like, look, I've had struggles in my life, and it is a bit of a takeaway for me, that this theme of addiction and how people kind of just let it come at them, like the wolf, the wolf that will pick you off, whether it sits around waiting for you to die or whether it catches you in a bad situation and just pounces on you and takes you there. So let's get into the next little bit here, which I think this would be a bit of a bridge or middle eight or something. When I awoke, the dire wolf, 600 pounds of sin, was grinning at my window, and all I said was, come on in, but don't murder me. I beg of you, don't murder me. Oh, please don't murder me. Okay, so keeping with this kind of dark theme, and again, it could be addiction or it could be any other kind of problem in life that's kind of catching up to you. But this next verse has him coming to consciousness, and the dire wolf's just grinning at the window, and the character in the song just says, hey, come on in. And then, of course, we've got the thing again, please don't murder me. And that's like, as somebody, again, who struggled at various times, not in a serious way, but over times I've struggled with some, I wouldn't say, maybe that's the hallmark of a true addict. But anyways, I've struggled with a little bit of addiction issues. And there is that thing like, just let this happen to me. I don't care. And then there is like kind of a maverick attitude of like, I'm invincible or whatever. And you're just open to situations. You can put yourself into a lot of dangerous situations with drugs and alcohol. And again, this might not be your take. It might not even be accurate, but I think you could switch out the addiction, whatever it is. And I think that these thoughts are sort of still relevant here. But let's go on to the next little bridge piece here. I don't know what you call this, a middle eight or just a middle section. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think it should be called. The wolf came in, I got my cards. We sat down for a game. I cut my deck to the queen of spades, but the cards were all the same. But don't murder me. I beg of you, don't murder me. Oh, please don't murder me. So again, we have this character who's just greeting Direwolf, the problem, the ignored addiction, the dangers of life, the perils of adventure. He just welcomes them in, and he gets in fact, he's so welcoming, he gets a deck of cards and agrees to a game with the wolf, welcomes the wolf to a game. And what is a card game but a game of chance? There's skill. Every poker player in the world will tell you it's skill or whatever, but I don't know. To me, it's always been a luck game, and I'm not a gambler, so that's not something I'm into. But yeah, he just sits down with the wolf and says whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but he's going out boldly, and he's okay with the game of chance. As the song winds down, we get the final verses and choruses, which go something like this. In the backwash of Venerio, black and bloody mire, the dire wolf collects his due while the boys sing round the fire. Don't murder me. I beg of you, don't murder me. Please don't murder me. Oh, bad ending there. I haven't played this one in a while. I haven't been playing a lot of guitar in a while. If you're new to my channel, by the way, I've covered a lot of jam bandy, cult bandy related stuff on the channel. Go check it out. I've looked at bands like Fish, Frank Zappa. I'm a huge Ween fan. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Go check out the channel. But at any rate, in this final verse, we have in the backwash of Venereal Black and Bloody Mire, the direwolf collects his due while the boys sing around the fire. So life has gone on. We don't know what happened to our protagonist. I kept calling him character. But our protagonist, we don't know what became of him. The last we saw of him, he sat down for a game of cards with the direwolf who was grinning at his window. And life has gone on, and the boys sing around the fire, and the direwolf is out there, and everybody's aware of the direwolf. And yeah, I think if not addiction, this is kind of like, to me, this means like, if you've got something that you're just submitting to that may or may not be good for you, and is it good to just leave everything to chance? And you look at Jerry Garcia, maybe he's the gambler here. There's also the great song Loser about this kind of same theme. Like, what are you willing to leave to chance? And then I think about people that I've lost in my life to various misadventures, and how, yeah, you know what? The songs go on, and the direwolf has collected his due. I don't know. Maybe I'm grasping at bald straws here, but that's what I get from this song. And I love this song. And like I say, you could Google lyric meanings. I don't really want to do that in this video and get the official word, because it's kind of like finding out how the sausage is made or the hot dog is made. You know, does that improve the taste? I don't know. Years ago, I've always loved the Beatles song, A Day in the Life. And then I watched the anthology, and they basically described that John's part of that song was just a bunch, the lyrics were just pulled from a bunch of newspaper clippings that he happened to be reading. So does that make the song better? Not really. It's interesting, but I don't know. When I loved that song for so many years and I didn't know what it was about, I think maybe I enjoyed the mystery of that a little more, rather than knowing, again, how the sausage is made. Anyways, that's what that song means to me. Maybe let me know in the comments what that song means to you. If you've got another Grateful Dead song you might want me to do a lyric analysis of, let me know down in the comments. And if I like the song, maybe I'll get around to doing that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Take very good care of yourself. Check out my channel. Subscribe if you feel like it. And we'll see you later. That was the chord I was going for earlier.